Let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're unpacking the largely unseen battles your roof fights every single day. If you're living in Cornelius, North Carolina, your home's first line of defense is taking an absolute beating from elements you might not even realize are there. We're going to break down localized data and expert insights from 5-Star Roofing Charlotte to show you exactly how to protect your biggest investment.
Since roof maintenance can honestly be a bit anxiety-inducing for a lot of us, we're keeping this super structured. We'll quickly cover the local environmental threats, how to spot the damage early, the best materials for the job, what the replacement process actually looks like, and finally, how to navigate the somewhat tricky world of building codes and insurance.
So kicking things off with Section 1, the Lake Norman microclimate, and why Cornelius roofs face some incredibly unique challenges.
If you happen to live near Jetton Park, or maybe somewhere along Peninsula Club Drive, you've probably asked yourself why your roof seems to fail so much faster than homes just a few miles further inland, right? Why are roofs right here aging so aggressively?
Well, standard inland Carolina weather is one thing, but sitting right on Lake Norman creates a completely distinct microclimate. The lake itself constantly generates this heavy, persistent humidity. It breathes sudden, highly unpredictable summer microbursts that bring damaging hail and intense wind loads across the water with absolutely zero friction to slow them down. Add in the area's heavy clay soil, which constantly expands and contracts, suddenly shifting your foundation, and it's basically a relentless, multi-front attack on your house.
Let's move over to Section 2, spotting common roof problems, or catching the signs of trouble above before it's too late.
The crucial thing here is connecting what you can physically see to the actual structural damage happening above your head. You really don't want to ignore these warnings. If you're cleaning out your gutters and you find a bunch of coarse sand-like granules, your shingles are deteriorating fast. Got missing or curling shingles? That's an open door for water. And if you're seeing a sagging roof deck or mysterious water stains on your ceiling, well, that means the water's already inside.
You might be wondering why those shingles curl up in the first place. It all comes down to a process called thermal cycling. Here in Mecklenburg County, your roof might literally bake in 95-degree heat on the summer afternoon and then face a drastic temperature plunge or even a freeze a few months later. That rapid expansion and contraction physically exhausts the material. It forces the shingles to buckle, curl, and eventually just snap.
And what about those ugly dark streaks you always see on the north-facing sides of homes around here? A lot of folks assume that's just dirt. Actually, scratch that. It's not dirt at all. It's active algae growth. It totally thrives on the lake's high humidity. That algae holds moisture right against your shingles, actively eating away at the protective layers and drastically cutting down the roof's lifespan.
Okay, now that we know what we're up against, let's jump to Section 3, choosing your roofing materials and how to actually build for this very specific microclimate.
When it comes to surviving severe weather, materials definitely aren't created equal. The lifespan differences are pretty staggering. A standard 3-tab shingle might only survive 15 to 20 years here. Upgrading to premium architectural shingles pushes that to about 25 or 30 years because they've got much better wind resistance. But then you have the premium tier: slate, tile, and metal.
I really want to highlight this number for a second. 50+ years. A properly installed metal roof can protect your home for over half a century. It naturally reflects the extreme heat, completely shrugs off the humidity, and easily deflects those nasty hailstorms that come rolling off the lake.
But it's not just about what's on top. The layers underneath are arguably just as important. Modern synthetic underlayment is an absolute game changer. It vastly outperforms the old-school felt paper, especially when it comes to blocking out that heavy, pervasive Carolina humidity and keeping your wooden roof deck perfectly dry. Moving right along to Section 4, the roof replacement process, taking you from estimate to warranty. We all know construction can be chaotic, but pros like 5-Star Roofing Charlotte use a super straightforward 3-step process to keep it predictable. First up is the inspection and estimate, complete with photos and exact costs. Second is the actual installation, which includes tearing off the old stuff, fixing any hidden deck rot, and installing strictly to the manufacturer's specs. And finally, Step 3 is the inspection and warranty phase, coordinating the county checks, doing a massive magnetic cleanup so you don't get a flat tire in your driveway, and handing over the paperwork.
And honestly, the timeline is probably a lot faster than you think. A standard asphalt installation on a typical home in, say, Antiquity is usually wrapped up in just 1 or 2 days. Larger homes with steep pitches in the peninsula, maybe 2 to 4 days. Of course, things like metal roofing or finding unexpected severe wood rot will change that timeline up a bit.
Timing the project really matters too.
While emergency tarping happens year-round, the absolute sweet spot for a planned replacement is late spring through early fall. You want temperatures hovering between 45 and 85 degrees. Why? Because that gives the thermal adhesive strips on the new shingles the perfect environment to bond and seal tightly in the sun, which is exactly what gives you that maximum wind resistance.
All right, our final section, Section 5, Navigating Codes and Insurance to Protect Your Investment. Getting this part wrong can be incredibly expensive. It's so important to understand how homeowners insurance actually works. They are absolutely going to cover sudden, catastrophic events like a massive windstorm or a tree falling on your house. What they absolutely will not cover is natural aging or leaks caused by neglected maintenance. If your roof fails simply because it's 25 years old and you ignore the warning signs, you're footing that entire bill yourself.
On top of that, local building codes in Mecklenburg County are strict, and they should be. They mandate specific minimum wind resistance ratings for our local wind zones. They require very specific underlayment protocols and exact mathematical ratios for attic ventilation, because if you trap heat and moisture up there, you'll literally rot the house from the inside out. They even dictate exactly how metal flashing has to be layered around chimneys and valleys.
This is exactly why you can't just hire a cheap, under-the-table contractor. You have to use someone who pulls the right county permits. Skipping permits creates a massive headache down the line. It can totally ruin your ability to sell the house later when an inspector flags it, and it basically hands your insurance company a free pass to deny future storm damage claims.
So, we've covered the aggressive reality of the Lake Norman environment and what it actually takes to defend against it. I'll leave you with this to chew on before the next heavy storm rolls across the water. Is your current roof a hidden liability just waiting to spring a leak? Or is it a verified 50-year shield? It might be time to take a walk outside. Look for those warning signs and make sure your biggest investment is secure. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.